Hello and welcome to the FMSL Podcast, Ep.3. I am Cameron.
And I'm Chrissy.
And
How are we?
today's special guest is Simon, the manager of Lecce.
Woo!
Hello, Simon. How are we?
I'm good, thank you. Good evening. How are we doing?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Brilliant. Cheers, mate. Right, so Simon, as you know, you're here on the FMSL podcast, and we want to talk a little bit about your personal experiences with Lecce. Did I pronounce that correctly? Lecce?
I think so.
Um,
I have no idea. I'm not
Sorry,
Italian, so
Italian viewers, sorry.
How you found this season so far, and yeah, how you enjoying it?
well, do well this season. Really, I can't really lie. I finished third in the playoff final. Hopefully play that tomorrow, Friday, something like that. Probably lunchtime. I might stream on Discord if I get around to it. Apart from that, well, it's been a tight league. I think League One, I personally looking at all the tables, is probably the strongest league this year. I know some people might argue, whatever. But even going to last week, if anybody had a really bad week, they could have been relegated. I think it was only Danny who was pretty much safe, pretty much early. But there's always everything to play for. So I think it was the best league this year. And to finish third, I thought I was a bit lucky. I thought I was going to finish fourth, fifth, but I had a couple of results go my way. But no, it's been a good season. I could have got relegated. But that was one thing I did not want this year was a double relegation because last year came down from the championship. But yeah, it's been a good season, I think. I think most players that I've wanted to play well have played well. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the playoff final and we'll see what happens.
I say it was definitely a tight league. I'm just looking at the table there. I mean, you're only 4 points off automatic promotion, and
Yeah,
apart from the top two, you finished on the highest goal difference of 7. They got 14, but the rest, a lot of them in the playoffs were -1, -1, 0, -4.
I think if you look at the last results, something I think I got probably most goal difference in the last couple of games. So yeah, it's really kind. I shouldn't know. There's a couple of games I didn't play because of personal things. So Niall took a couple of games for me against Besiktas, and he got 2 draws, and and then Comrade couldn't play me in one of the times, so I had to play Mohammed. So yeah, and I lost quite easy on them ones. So a couple of results could have gone away, and I've got that auto, but I don't think it was going to happen this year. I think Celtic and, to be honest, I think Cormac lost as soon. I thought they were going to get auto. I think he kind of messed up towards the end. So hopefully he does that in a couple of days' time.
Hopefully.
I mean, you had eight wins, 4 draws, and 6 losses. I mean, over the stretch of an 18-game period, that's not bad.
It should be better, shouldn't it?
Yeah, another season that could have sent you up.
Yeah,
Don't be too harsh on yourself, though. Don't be too harsh.
I don't know. It's just the losses. I don't know. It is a good season. I'm not saying it's not a good season. I just think sometimes when you play 2 legs, I think if you did it looked over 1 leg, I think I might have had a slightly better record. But over 2 legs, you kind of you get that bounce back game. What people say, but I never get the bounce back if I lose first game. So, so it's always annoying. But no, it's been a good season. I can't complain. It's just a bit bittersweet if I lose player final. I think I'd rather just be out and that's it. So
Yeah. How did you have any cup runs this year?
I got to the final in the FMSL against Mohammed, and that was a frustrating game yesterday afternoon. It was quite even until last 10 minutes. Yeah, someone sent off in after about 9 minutes, Molina, but I don't know. It just couldn't score. I think the woodwork and whatever. It was just one of those games what just knew it was going to call for you. And then he had 2 goals in the last 5 minutes, something like that. But just killed it. What made it a lot worse. And then other than that, I got through the groups of the Heenan Cups. That was good. So really, cup runs have done all right. I lost first round in the Divisional Cup, but I can't. Yeah, it's been a good cup run really. It's got some extra money in the budget for this window coming up.
Yeah, definitely finishing third, and like you say, getting to the final was mega bucks. Mega bucks of difference from even getting to the semi-finals. It's brilliant.
I think I was looking at the budgets. I think now I've got 38 mil, something like that. Probably it's going to be quite higher than that, probably when it all comes down to it. So it's not too bad to start with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody's got a relatively healthy budget, bar a few people. I think everybody's got a relatively healthy budget going into the transfer window. But we're just going to bring it back. Team of the season. I will pop it up on the screen here for everybody. It is a
Did you work out how to do that?
I have, yes, I have. So yeah, it is. It's a very interesting look inside, considering Haaland is the only player from Besiktas. You've got 3 in there. I can't. Is it Braga? I've got 3 in there.
Augsburg, that is.
Is it Wolfsburg? Is it?
Yeah, Augsburg, yeah.
So we had looking Wolfsburg kid. But yeah, and then you've got obviously Bandera in goal from Celtic, who I had the pleasure of playing against last night. How have you found that league? If you look at the team in the season, there's a few key players of yours probably that I would have expected to be in there. The likes of what's his face? Everybody was trying to buy him. Can't remember.
Vinny.
No, the other one. The centre mid. No, the centre midfielder.
Oh, Baldanzini.
Baldanzini, but isn't he more of a attacking midfielder?
But no one's really. Oh, you mean Locatelli?
Yes, Locatelli. I really did expect Locatelli after all of the hype and the amount of conversation that Niall had about him. I thought he would have been in there.
I think he's still mad about that one. But well, I couldn't get anyone to replace him. I couldn't replace him, and that was it. I was a bit surprised with probably Vinny being in there.
He did score 12 goals for 7 assists the whole season. Yeah, I think that's
pretty. But when you look over the 18 games and you're playing the games, you don't think he's doing anything. He misses that many chances, or he's just not on the best rating sometimes. But some games he scored 2 or whatever. So I don't know. It just sometimes he might just be one of these players that you expect more, because like Haaland, if you don't expect 20 odd goals probably in that 18 games, you're probably a bit disappointed. But with Vinny, I think I was expecting more, but he has done well. I look at the stats; it's not too bad.
Yeah.
So I was probably surprised he was there. I'm surprised that Celtic only got 2 in. Really.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised. But I'm actually the thing I'm the most shocked about, looking at your team and looking at the rest of the league. I mean, I know Pedro had a good season, but Giovanni Simone, 17 goals, 2 assists. That is a very, very good record. Like, I'm surprised he's not in there.
I think it's just sadly he's just one of them players that,
considering Pedro got a lot less goals. I mean, he got a fair few more assists, but still overall, I think Simeone should really be in there just on that one alone.
I think Simeone, he did well. I think more with Simeone was, I think he was better in the cups than he was in the league this year.
Yeah, so I don't know whether
I think I felt like when you're looking at it in a whole, because you're playing cup games and league games all the time, you kind of get you get confused with who's playing well in the league or the cup. But I think Simeone was more of a cup player this year than he was in the league. But I'm surprised Vieira wasn't there for Celtic. So I think he was the main person for Danny.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think Danny, apart from the last week, I think I beat him twice. But apart from that, I don't think anybody did the double over him. And I think going into last week, I think he was ahead. I think most of the season, if you can look at it, I think Danny was probably the one that's saying he's going to win it. But everybody else had a chance to get points against each other and stuff like that. So apart from, so I'm surprised there's only 2 Celtic players in there. I'm expecting his keeper to be there, because I think every time I've faced him is at a absolute worldie.
Yeah. But going to the keepers, Lafont was only 1 clean sheet behind him.
Yeah.
Behind Bernard Bernardi. He was only 1 clean sheet behind him.
Yeah. And to be honest, I never kept many clean sheets. I think in versus you don't really. It's not.
Well,
not
you can say that, but if you look down in my ex-goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel, 6 clean sheets that basically took Craig up as well.
Yeah,
well, I'm just saying that it was a nice little friendly bargain I made Craig. But going on to talk about the league as a whole, you came in at was it transfer window 2 last year with
Came in
Besiktas?
after transfer window 2,
After,
just
Yes,
after.
it was after
I've-
because I absolutely done Jimmy like a kipper
Yes.
with Mancini, which I know still hurts. I know.
It doesn't
not
hurt.
like
It's
you.
just that
It's not
it'd have
like
been
you, Cam.
nice to have someone like that at the beginning. Because,
Yeah.
to be honest, when I came into it, I had a choice of Besiktas or Montpellier. And to be honest, Montpellier did well over the course of seasons without really much change in the team. But Besiktas, I felt on paper, was the better team. If I knew they weren't in the bottom league, then I might have not took them. But but it took me a little bit of time to get used to everything. Because I came from draft mode and didn't do too bad in draft mode in times. Mark, who one of admins, he ran a draft on the Monday, and I think Craig was in there. And there's a
I
couple
played
of
in there
ones.
once. Yeah, I played in there once.
So I played on a regular basis on the Monday night. So I knew a couple of people, and I think because of that, that's how I got into the FSML. So I thought I was going to come in and do a slightly better at the beginning. So it was a bit frustrating.
I think it's the concept of the whole league, isn't it?
I think so,
at
but
first.
I think at first it was a bit not confusing, but like you're trying to get used to what's happening. But I try to be as much as active as possible in them first couple of windows. And I think if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have had the team at the end. And I'm surprised. I'm disappointed I didn't go for another season because I got promoted, and then that last season they gave me. I pretty much was promoted, and I think the team has just gone on and on after that.
Yeah,
but,
you definitely turned it around, mate.
You did.
The team that you took over, a lot of us were really impressed with how
I think it was good, but
around.
It helped by picking on some players up in the line because I got people that I could sell, and that made it a lot easier. But yeah, it was quite a good experience, and I think people need to be active on them transfer window. Maybe not in the chats, but I think you need to be active in a team to make sure you get what you want or whatever. So yeah, and then this year is done all right. I think I've got a solid team. I don't think there's much that I could do in the team extra. It's just whatever fancies in the window if I get bored or whatever, and we'll see what happens.
This is what we were talking about, wasn't it, Cam?
Yeah, it was.
You get to a point where you build a great team, and then transfer window comes around, and you're like, "Oh, he's for sale. Oh, I'll just sell him. Oh, you want to buy him? Yeah, 50 million, please." And then
it can be a bit of a volatile place to be sometimes, I think it's great, but it can be like if you're not selling the player, if you're not selling Jude Bellingham, then nobody wants to deal with you unless you're going to sell them Jude Bellingham for like a third choice left back or something like that. You know what I mean? And I think once you have them good players like you with Vinny, everybody's going to be after him.
Well, there's a few
everybody's
people
going to be after
him,
Haaland. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody's going to be after one, but looking away from that somewhat negative tone I just took about people wanting my players. 3 positives. Can you give me 3 positives about your whole experience in this league in this last year?
No.
Look at him, he's thinking hard.
I can.
He's thinking hard.
No, well, I mean, there is a little bit of good banter in it. I mean, sometimes it can get out of hand and stuff, but playing Versi mode is quite a nice way of playing Football Manager. Like last year, it got me through the last cycle of Football Manager. Couldn't get into a save offline, and the only thing I played for Manager was for Versi mode. So it kind of actually made me play the game and actually want to play the game. So Versi mode is always good on that respect. And then you're playing against other people, so it's not just the computer all the time. You're not just getting FM'd all the time, whatever. But on the flip side, like you can get frustrating at the same time, where you can have a formation that just seems overpowered all the time, and you're thinking, how can you beat it? But maybe that's just a challenge of it. But
agreed.
And then and transfer windows to me, I think sometimes can be a bit boring or a bit more long-winded. I don't know if it's changed since I was before me or whatever, but I don't know. Sometimes you don't know what players are available or what players are moving. And sometimes I think it's just the unknown of stuff that's a bit more like down about it. But I think there's the buzz around the league is quite a good. We've got quite a good people in it, I think now. That yes, you've got some quieter ones, but when you're in the league with them, they're not too bad to contact and stuff like that. There's not been that many that I've seen this year have been very difficult to arrange matches.
Yeah.
So that sometimes took shine off it a little bit for me last year. And stuff like just sometimes try to struggle to get matches in, struggle to play at certain times. But no, I think this year on the whole has been quite positive compared to some parts of it last year.
Yeah. And like you were saying about, obviously, me and you have had a few conversations during transfer windows, not even necessarily about buying players or selling players, just about other deals and, you know what I mean, what we think's good and who we think's how much people are worth. And it's good that everyone in the FMSL community talks and obviously chats between each other.
I think it's other people. I think there's some people out there. I think over time you can find out the ones that are going to give you not advice, but like you can say, like, oh, I'm looking for X, Y, and Z. They're not going to like screw you over or what, that sort of thing. They're just going to keep you like saying, what sort of price you think you should get for your player or what they think you should get to your player. So you got an idea, because everybody's guessing at prices pretty much.
Yeah, of course they are.
You can look at certain things on the game to base it off, but realistically, most people are just seeing what the last person got and what sort of person this person is. And if you want to look into current abilities and potential abilities and whatever, then you try to base off that. So
we're all just winging it, aren't we?
Yeah, winging it. But I think the first window, I think realistic, apart from a couple of people's overpricing massively, I think most of it was pretty sound. I think for the early starts was pretty sound. And last year, there's sometimes it was spot on. Some windows, there's one or two ludicrous deals. People taking the newbies for a ride and stuff. But most of the time, I think most of the deals probably sound. I think people just get annoyed if someone gets screwed over or whatever. But most of the time, it has been quite good.
Yeah, nice one. Well, Simon, we're gonna leave it there.
Awesome.
I want to thank you for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so thank you, Simon, and thank you as well, Chrissy, and thank you all for listening. This has been
Simon,
the FMSL
one more thing before we go. Simon. Good luck in your semi-final, mate. Obviously, me and Cam are coming up to League One next season, so
no, you mean
we hope to see you there.
Yeah, we hope to see. Well, no, we don't. We want you to go.
No. I don't know.
All the best, mate.
When you look at the tables, I thinking, do I want to go up or stay in the league? But we'll see.
You want to stay just for me and Chrissy, man. Me, Chrissy, and the rap god. You want to stay for us.
I think you ask most people to want to get out because they don't want Cam in the league. But
how dare they?
But don't forget, keep your budgets and come for Vinny, and bow down if you want him. So get your money on the table.
I'll write that one down now. Brilliant. Cheers, Simon.
Thank you very much, Simon.
Have a good night. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everybody, for listening to the FMSL podcast, and we will see you again soon.